I'm Dave Epstein. This is Growing Wisdom, and believe it or not, our September calendar. September, a lot of you might think, hey, gardening's winding down, but for me, it's just really beginning. If you have irrigation systems, it's a great time of the year to move your irrigation system. If you've looked over the course of the year and you saw areas that weren't getting wet, change it now, because your lawn will have a chance to kind of rehab itself. This is the time of the year that I love to put in a new lawn. So we've got the spreader here. We can overseed this time of the year. We've talked about that before. This is a great time of the year to put in new trees and shrubs. The one thing you probably don't want to be putting in new are ornamental grasses after mid-September. They really need a longer time to kind of adapt to their new surroundings. So, you know, spring is a great time to move some perennials, but also fall is as well. And as I get through the month of September, and especially if you get an early frost, it's not a bad idea to begin to dig some of those up. I also like to tag the perennials that might need to be moved. So you can simply take like a flag. This is an irrigation flag. Just put that flag there, and that will identify, hey, that guy needs to be moved at some point. If you've planted something newly planted and you don't have irrigation and you don't get enough rain, just take a bucket of water, pour it on, water them. You can also mix in a little bit of a very light liquid fertilizer this time of year for some of those new plants. It does help them to become established. I would not fertilize a heavy fertilization this time of the year. You don't want a lot of new growth. That growth might not get hardened off for winter, and it could die back as well. I have a ton of plants outside on the patio. I need to think about bringing them back in. You can use neem oil or other natural products to control some of the bugs that might be on your plants. You could also use a systemic, which is something that goes in the soil. Another product I really like is horticultural oil, which is an all-season oil. That smothers any insects before you bring them back into the house. September is also a great month to cut some flowers. You know, if you have hydrangeas, you can just cut those, bring them inside, hang them upside down. They love to be in a dark, dry spot. So the attic is an ideal spot, or your basement, especially if it's dry down there, and the flowers will dry really well, and then you can enjoy them all winter long in a vase. Great time to deadhead. You can even bring some of them down to the ground after you get an early frost or a freeze, especially in the northern tier of the U.S. and other parts of the world. If you have a vegetable garden, good idea to go out there and really pick stuff early in the morning, because some of those vegetables can explode this time of the year. Finally, you want to be thinking of spring in September by getting your bulbs. You know, head out to your local nursery, or you can still continue to order. Once it starts getting cool, time for the bulbs to go in, and they'll reward you next spring. We'll reward you every week here with lots of new videos at growingwisdom.com.